So let's see here. Let's see if this guy wants to talk to us.
Hello.
You're live and you're on the air.
I'm on the air everywhere.
Well, you're on the air right now,
pal.
and you're definitely on this podcast. And it's
I'm on the air everywhere. It's me, your pal Tatu.
It's 2 hours and 48 minutes into this. So for people who want to, for the future, if you want to remember this, when you're on live now. Oh, well, Tatu, Why don't you tell the people out there about your website and how they could reach you and see your stuff?
Well, I don't have a whole lot of stuff. I got one website left. It's the worldfamous.com. And I just have YouTube videos on the worldfamous.com. I'm just a little guy.
Yeah, we're all little guys
of life.
Well, you do have Station X though, and I noticed you've been publishing some videos there. Correct?
Yes, I did. I got a tremendous amount of views on YouTube. 12,900 views in 24 hours of an 18-minute, 18-second piece of me delivering some gas in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I saw that thing. Yeah,
I got 12,000. That's funny. I mean, 18 seconds. And I got 12. I don't even know if I really got the views. I think YouTube has got me in a special room and they're just messing with my head on the views.
Yeah, but they're messing with me. What about me? Okay, how do I get 2 views? All right, look at. I've got a show set up. I finally hooked it. I can take live phone calls. All right, I could play. The now sound. I could play sound effects. I could do all this stuff. I'm broadcasting for probably 5 hours today when it's all said and done. All right. I'm promoting this on Minds, Gab. I didn't close my Twitter account. I just don't comment and reply, but I put the video links there. I have 2 different other websites. I list this stuff. People tell me they've seen me on a show, but then I look, or they've heard my songs, they've listened to something, and then I go and look at it, and I look at the song, and it's got like 0 views or 2 views. And I'm going like, what kind of game are they playing with me? I don't even get that. And
one thing that I do notice that what they do is, for some reason, I don't know what that is, if it's in the cache, but how can the views go up and then they go back down?
Yeah, that's another one.
I mean, that's the thing that I don't get. So if there was like 16 views, all of a sudden you have 16 views, and then you turn the thing on the next day and it's down to 2.
Yeah, right. I've watched 9 go to...
One day it goes up to 105, and then it goes back down to 20.
I watched 9 go down to 6 within like an hour or something. I don't get it. It's like, doesn't make any sense at all. There's some game going on, but it's weird.
And I did get, at one point, when I had one thing that was really strange is when I got to 1,000 subscribers, it was like all the other shows that you would be out there where people were saying they're shadow banned, they're not showing up. And that's exactly what was happening. So I don't know how you get 1,000 subscribers and nobody looks at anything. And then the subscribers disappear. So then you got subscribers, then they start going down.
Well, they take so. I mean, that happened to me on Twitter. I had at one point
views. So it's whatever's going on. I don't think it's that.
I had 3,300 followers one morning, and followers on Twitter, and the next morning I only had 2,000. So I lost like 1,300 literally overnight. How is that even possible? How could you lose 1,300 people overnight? It's impossible. All right. And
we know that it can't be an algorithm, that it actually has to be going into some sort of a network's ops where there's actually humans there.
And then you go into your stats and you look at like views, particularly in Twitter, where I was noticing that I was getting like views would be like 250,000 views or 500,000 people, in other words, viewed my comments or replies or tweets, but I still was only in like 3,300. I never got beyond the 3,000s in followers. And it's the same on YouTube. When you look at analytics, sometimes you see like the weirdest things in there. It just don't make sense. But I don't know. It's a game, but at least it's here. And for now, anyway, so Tatu.
Hey, right now I'm actually talking to you on a phone, and then I'm watching you on my 55-inch Samsung over here. It's a.
Is it cool? Is there?
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Listen.
Yeah. Well, is there much of a delay?
Can you hear it? Listen.
Yeah. Okay. So there's about. It's like about a 3-second delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy, we used to do this all the time. You're right. This is actually funny.
So
we're doing this, and everybody's out there doing all their shit, and we were doing this like
we invented it. Yeah, we invented it. We invented it 25 years ago.
Yeah, so weird.
But anyway, it's fun, But while I got you there, though, is my volume okay, or is our volumes equal? Because this is a new getup. I have. It's a different mic, and I had to set up this whole thing, and I forgot that I had this thing. I don't know where I bought it. I must have bought it online at one point. I got a thing you could plug into an iPhone. You plug it into your iPhone jack, where you plug your headphones in. It's got a splitter on it. I can't show it right now because the line that I have is too short to reach up to the camera.
Right.
But it's one side has like the speaker, the headphone image on it, and the other one has like an image of a microphone. And so that's how I plugged that into my mixer. And so, I got your voice in my headphones, my voice in my headphones, and I'm talking here. Well, I just clicked the mic, and that's coming into the phone. So it's like I could take call. It's like I got a complete setup here where I could take, hi, you're live on the air, type of thing. It's pretty crazy, man.
So now, but your number would be out there and you get calls at all times of the morning.
Well, I'm not going to do I'm not doing I want to believe something. I'm not putting my number out there, but I'm just saying, for people I could call anybody and, do it. And these other guys, have all this expensive software and stuff. They don't realize that all you really have to do is buy it. Whatever that jack cost me, I probably didn't pay more than $5 for it, or maybe $9.95.
Yeah, it's interesting. What's weird is when I talk and then you talk, then the gap starts closing up. It's more like 5 seconds, but then when I talk, it starts closing up and you respond, and then it's 3 seconds when we're both talking. It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that exactly works, but I don't know. It's a beautiful thing, man. And it's like, I hope this thing...
It's really a trip here. Now what I need to do is get the tripod like you were talking about the other day, sit that up, go into the other room, and then talk and record what's going on over here.
Right. Well, the thing is... I have this software. It's called Wirecast, and I even paid them for it apparently at one point a couple of years ago. And it supposedly allows you to where I could have called you and we could have done a video thing, but when I went to and this YouTube studio has a thing set up for streaming, and it even gives you like the codes and the things you're supposed to put in to authenticate it and all that garbage. But when I went to it, apparently Wirecast is no longer like providing that service. And so there's some other one that does it, and it's $5.99, and I'm not spending $600 on something that might end up being this exact same way. I'll buy it, and then it'll say, oh, you can't do it. So I don't know. But at least the audio thing's cool, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It brings in the audio.
So, and I always like phone calls with headphones on anyway, because it sounds so much better. It's like, it's just a cool thing. So you got stuck in this. Tell us more about you.
Oh yeah. It's just it's all of a sudden where we're at, just like down in Texas, we didn't have any power problems, but the weather came down here and dropped. Nobody saw, 2 foot or 3 foot of snow. Nobody's seen anything like that from around here for, 30 years.
Right. But we have loved it. We're in global.
And then out. So my car was just completely socked in. But the thing was, it wasn't wet snow. So it was
powder,
kind of snow where I was. So I'm out there with a broom trying to get, knock it off, but I'm stepping in like about 3 foot of snow. I don't have my snow boots on. Then my neighbor down the way comes out and he goes, "Hey, go into the shed and get your leaf blower."
That's an interesting idea, though.
And he's got this YouTube video. A guy's got the leaf blower. So I go into the shed. I get the leaf blower. It's out there. It was -8 last night. So the leaf blower, I had to prime that up. You push the little rubber piece.
Right.
Well, that thing, to prime it up is frozen. And I know, well, damn, if I push on that, it's going to break. Gas is going to fly out. The leaf blower won't start.
Right.
So I got to warm that up with my hand, and I'm blowing air on it. And it's just turning to ice. And then the next thing I pump it up and I prime it up. And I get it to start, but it's so cold. There's no block warmer on a leaf blower. Right. So I'm trying to choke it out. So it's, and after about 10 minutes of standing there, and Rick's over on the other side going, "What's going on?" Then finally I get it cranking, and then I go out there, I came back in just a few minutes ago. I go out there and I use that leaf blower and I've blown it all off. That's the best idea.
Have you seen those videos where people are burning snow? Have you seen that?
No. How do you do that?
That's a whole. That's a whole. No. This is a whole new thing. You got to go down that rabbit hole. There's I talked about it yesterday in the video. No, people are going out in Texas or wherever other places. They're just grabbing a handful of snow and they're just trying to crush it into a snowball. And then they take a Bic lighter and they light it and it doesn't melt. And instead it just turns black. It burns. And they're saying, "What the hell is this? This isn't even real. It's like plastic." And then there was this. So I went down the rabbit hole and I'm going well, is this true? Whatever. And then there was some science teacher who was trying to explain that, well, snow is dry, so it absorbs, she said it absorbs the, when you light it, it's absorbing the moisture itself. And the reason the black is coming from the hydrocarbons out of the Bic lighter. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's a debunk. But I just kept going further and further. And then I saw some chick who lived in Fairbanks, Alaska, and she went out because she watched these videos, and she pulled out a snowball out of her backyard that just fell down, and she took a lighter to it, and it didn't turn black, and it just melted. Okay? And it was wait a second. So real snow up in the place where it really snows, because they don't do any of that geoengineering or chemtrails up in Alaska, right? They do that down in the States. And then there was somebody in I watched somebody in upstate New York. But then I'm going hey man, this is weird, because this is looking like this snow's got some kind of particulate matter in it. This isn't real frickin' snow. And I kept going down the line because I'm not a guy I never buy I don't watch one video and repeat it. I want evidence, right?
So do I need to get the snow out here while I just blew off of there and go back out and try this?
Yeah, but what I'm going to do, and I'll just take it one step further. So I go further down the line, deeper into the rabbit hole of YouTube. And I start finding videos from 7 years ago. Then I found that were reported by some Fox affiliate or something. And then I went back and I even found one as old as 12 years ago where people were finding this phenomenon. And so the idea is that, something's screwed up, man. This This is just like something weird, that they're, so the, in other words, if you're chemtrailing those when you participate, any kind of precipitation, it's coming down, whether it's snow, rain, whatever. And you see these birds that are all dying, they find these like birds all over the place and weird stuff like that. It's like, this stuff is real, man. And snow should not be turning black. And this woman, and I saw about 5 different people that proved that, no, it's not the Bic lighter that turned it black. What it's doing is that's like there's some kind of plastic or some kind of artificial stuff in this snow. And I've got the same stuff here. It's powder, man. It's powder. It's not snow. It's like, I don't know, man. Something weird's going on. It's crazy. Where's Art Bell when you need him, man?
Yeah, one thing that I did notice when it was really crazy, it was 3 days ago, and it was really crazy. It got down to, I think, with wind chill factor, it was something like, and for this part of Arkansas and Oklahoma to be -18, it's just odd. But when I was looking at the snow come down, and then there was a part where the sun came out, it was really glistening. It actually looked like cocaine or something.
Yeah.
It didn't even actually look like
exactly what it's
like it's got these crystals or something.
The other morning when I was out, I had to get up because without naming names.
Interesting observation.
Without naming names, you know who the guy is. The guy who has the pizza shop. He was in Hawaii, and I had to watch his place. It was open for 9 days, but he didn't trust his employees. So I had to go down there for 9 days in a row early in the mornings to take the cash register, the cash, and prepare the deposit and put it in his safe. He just wanted me to do that for him. And so I had to get up 9 days in a row walking out. And every one of those days was like this. It was like this weird snow stuff. And it was like I was noticing that. I'm going like, this isn't snow, man. This is something else. And yeah, you could go down a rabbit hole and you'll see all kinds of stuff. And you'll see people that are deniers, and there's people trying to say, like I said, when I first saw the science teacher go into it and she was trying to give this explanation, I was ready to say, okay, I buy it. You're right. But then when I started to see, I kept going deeper and deeper. I'm going like, wait a second. Up in Fairbanks, Alaska, it's not turning black with the same Bic lighter and the same snowball and the same, type of snow. And they get powdery snow up there, and upstate New York and areas where it snows, because that's how skiers like powder. That's what it's all about. Doug, we used to do all that stuff. Those guys, that's what it's all about. No, this is beyond powder. This is like particulate matter. This is geoengineering, man. So on top of all the other crap they're like doing to us, this is an example, man. They're messing with us. Hey, here's another thing. How come Biden did Biden declare? I don't watch TV anymore. Did he declare a state of emergency in Texas or anything?
No, I don't.
Yeah, see, so. What's up with that, man? Shouldn't he have FEMA down there, like 1 million, 2 million people without power?
Yeah, it seemed like that's what anybody does, and they got on Trump's case or Obama's case for not sending everybody down to New Orleans.
Right. Like, what's going on, man? FEMA should be down. FEMA should be down there helping these people out.
I heard nothing. The only thing that I ever heard was everybody decided they were going to pick on Ted Cruz because he was going to take his kids.
Yeah, right. He went to Cancun. Yeah, why not? So what? He's an individual. He could do whatever the hell want. Why not? What's he supposed to do? Freeze his balls off? You know what I mean? He could do whatever. He could do whatever he wants to. My question is,
so how come Biden wasn't down there? Flying down there with Air Force One.
And where's FEMA?
And flying over and look at how dark it is and doing some,
Exactly. And where's FEMA? I saw a thing the other day. Yes, just yesterday, or it might have been even this morning, because I get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning these days. I saw a thing where there's lines because they don't have water. It's boil advisory down there now, because people forget when the grid goes down, man, the water and sewage is a problem too, because everything's hooked up to electricity and stuff. And they've got lines of people. It's freezing outside, and there's lines in front of grocery stores for people to get, to buy water and food. And I'm going, yeah, where the hell is FEMA? If there's a million people who can't get fresh water, shouldn't we have FEMA trucks down there handing out bottled water like you see in all these other things? Like, what the hell's going on, man? There's something fishy about this whole thing. It's weird. I'm glad I got you on the phone, man.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Anyway, so isn't this a cool show?
I sent you a picture of the back of the snow. There's not even any footprints in that.
Yeah, I can see.
You can see it if it comes in. It's about 2 foot of snow.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it now. See, the problem is the only problem with this YouTube studio is, and it's like really cracks me up, considering the stuff we were doing 25 years ago. There's no I should be able to like plop insert a picture right now, right? Because I saw the picture I just sent, but they don't have that in this interface. And it's because, this is the thing I rag about all the time. Okay, so you got all these kids in their 20s, maybe 30s, but mostly, and they're all working for Alphabet, Google, YouTube, Facebook, all these companies. And they got these jobs and they're sitting around drinking their Starbucks coffee, and they got their pet dog by their side right in their little cubicle or whatever the heck it is. But, they don't know even how to write the code to add a thing here that says, picture in picture or insert photo. This is despite the fact, the idea that I'm talking to you and the way I'm setting up things like, because the fact of the matter is we've just plopped the third hour. The now sound. Another hour of music power. But the fact that it's a third hour of broadcasting is that I'm doing that on my own. They should, this interface, it's the year 2021, man. And all this thing does is it broadcasts live, and, I'm all for it, and it's great, and I have to bow down to the Alphabet and YouTube gods, thank you for letting me broadcast, and I'll try to abide by your terms of service and stuff. But you got to have somebody on staff that could put in 1 or 2 buttons that says picture in picture or add graphic. I could write that code myself,
Wait a second. I lost my speaker for a second, but I'm okay back.
Still there?
Yeah. What is that thing?
What this thing?
Is that a cigar holder?
Yeah, it's a cigar holder. It mellows it out. Though it's a good Honduras cigar that I was able to get, but I dropped it on the floor and it's kind of gnarly looking, but it's
I'm trying to figure out that cigar holder. What? Oh.
I originally
did they used to give those out on the
the thing is, look, this is what I use for those cheap ass cigars that you can buy at the store that basically people use for blunts. Okay. And where is it? And a friend of mine used to smoke these big cigars. So look at this thing. This is crazy. It's like, looks like something you'd give somebody in a, diamond necklace in. Well, anyway, I bought one of these things because a friend of mine used to smoke these big stogies, and I was going to give it to them as a gift, and I never did. I just forgot, or I never, I moved away or whatever. I don't know what it was. And then I bought this, and it doesn't really fit this one. Like it actually, this cigar is too fat for it, but it's got a filter system in it, and so it's like, because you get older and stuff. I don't smoke anymore. The only time I ever smoke is I smoke a cigar when I'm having a couple of beers, like today.
So what's the advantage of that? You don't get any slop on the end of the cigar?
No, you don't mess up your gums, reasons why people get
do you get what happens if you smoke a cigar
gum
like
cancer?
That?
Well, I don't know.
Juicy nicotine coming out of it.
Yeah, it reduces some of the carcinogens, I guess, too, but it also keeps you from having like the the burn, the smoke going against your gums, which could potentially cause cancer or something like that or whatever. But the idea is cigars are mellow to begin with, especially like a Honduras. That's like a Cubano almost, but it's from Central America. The idea is that, it's real tobacco. There's no fake stuff in there like the stuff they sell people, at the stores. The cigars they sell in the stores now are just like, they're just blunts that people cut in half, take the stuff out and put pot in them. And that's, they just use them to smoke. They're great. You can't get a cigar. It's like I bought a pack of cigars. They were flavored grape, in fact, let's see if I have a pack here. Yeah, look, just in case this cigar was stale, because you can't tell. But I bought this White Owl. But if you look at it closely, you see, well, let's see here.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
See, it says white grape.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever heard of it? Who wants a grape cigar? Well, I'll tell you who wants a grape cigar. Somebody using it as like a blunt to put, they just...
Hasn't White Owl, isn't that an old name?
No, that's an old name, but, they're the company trying to survive, Anyway, so, yeah, man, I'm glad you got on the line. I'm going to be doing this I'm going to be doing this for a while. So